Hello, and welcome to Smart Women Read Romance, a book review podcast where we fangirl over all things romance. I'm Juliette.
And I'm Jessen.
Today, we'll be reviewing Sally Thorne's new release, 99% Mine. But before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to the podcast on your preferred podcast platform, and please rate and review us. Jessen and I would love to hear from you, so follow us on our social media pages at SWReadRom. Join our Patreon for access to exclusive giveaways, a look behind the scenes of our episodes, and exclusive content including monthly videos where we answer all of your burning questions. Shout outs to our amazing patrons, Melina, Lexi, Danielle, Ashley, Stephanie, Justine, and Rachel. You girls rock. Okay, Jessen, before we dive in, tell me what's been going on with you lately.
Well, not particularly with me, but just with all of Louisiana. You know, it's Mardi Gras season.
Oh, yeah.
That's happening.
Hell yeah, it's Mardi Gras season.
You know how I knew how it was Mardi Gras season?
Because all the king cakes started coming out?
Not just king cakes. King cake vodka. Did you see
What?
that? Oh, yeah.
Get out.
Taka came out with like king cake flavored vodka.
They're so brilliant.
I'm like, well, yeah, you slap anything Mardi Gras related on a label and
it's going to sell like hotcakes.
We're like, oh my God. You know what it reminded me of?
What?
Do you remember that time you got totally sloshed off of whipped cream vodka?
Justin, I do not even want to discuss that.
Y'all. Wow.
Yeah. It was the first time I'd had those dessert vodkas. And I was like, oh, it's so good. Let's just have another one.
Yeah.
Let's have another one.
That's what's dangerous about vodka and flavored vodka. It tastes so good, but man, will it fuck you up.
I should have known better, because even in college, like, I stayed away from vodka because it made me like fucking crazy. You know, do like, you know, stand on the tables and shit kind of stuff. You know, well, I don't want to go anywhere.
Wild. Wild time.
So I always stayed away from vodka. And then at that engagement party, we're just like, hey, let's have another drink, Justin. We got to post that picture. We did take a really cute picture.
That was a great picture.
Yeah. Right before we got
good.
Wasted off that vodka.
Yeah. That was a fun night for you. But I really love Mardi Gras time. I mean, it's the whole season.
Yeah.
It starts basically in January. And
I'm
then
a king cake snob, though, I have to tell you.
Really? What's your favorite king cake?
Well,
or where do
I
you
don't
get your favorite
like
king
just
cake?
any king cake. Like, you can't just pick up a king cake at Walmart and I'm going to eat it. Like, I'm not.
I agree. So where do you get your favorite king cake from?
Well, okay. So you're gonna think I'm so stupid.
Why?
Meshes.
No.
Because it's, I mean,
a lot
Meshes
of
is a
people love
donut.
Meshes.
They can't just be that cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
You know, dry sort of whatever.
Right.
You know?
I also like Meshes. I also saw that Zoo House Bakery, the German bakery. They had a king cake colored cheesecake, and I was like, I would eat that.
I would too. I would totally
just
eat that.
Everything becomes Mardi Gras around here.
Yeah.
You can find anything Mardi Gras around here. I just love it. I also last night. This is not technically Mardi Gras, but it comes with the season. I had my first batch of boiled crawfish last night.
What?
So
already?
Good. Yeah.
It's freaking February.
Well,
were they small?
It's been pretty. Well, they weren't like huge, but the flavor was amazeballs. It was crazy delicious. I also don't like huge crawfish. I feel like they get a little chewy.
Well, they also, the shell gets too hard if it's like too, you know, there's when it's when they're too big, but I don't like them when they're too small. It's too much work.
Yeah, so you know, Mardi Gras season is a huge thing down here.
Go figure.
Obviously,
crazy time.
But you know what I was thinking of too?
What's that?
It's like whenever people from other states think of Mardi Gras, everyone's pretty much thinking of like the New Orleans style Mardi Gras, like that kind of style.
Jinx.
But not a lot of people know about like rural Mardi Gras.
Acadiana
Mardi Gras.
Here.
Like in Church Point. And
oh my God, where they chase the chickens?
Right, exactly. And all of the costumes that they wear for that.
Oh my gosh.
They like ride on horseback and
we have a parade this weekend here in town. And there are parades everywhere all over South
parade
Louisiana.
Season starts way before Mardi Gras Day.
Mm-hmm.
It's Mardi Gras Day is just, you know, the very tip of the iceberg when it comes to this type of season.
But they're like parades.
We have balls, we have all kind of, it's just crazy. And there's no boob flashing, okay? That's all out of towner stuff. Nobody flashes
I've never
boobs.
in my life. You know who flashes their boobs? The people from out of state who come down here to
right, exactly. It's all out of towners. It's like if your boobs are out in New Orleans, it's like tourist.
Yeah.
You know what's a better way to get beads down here?
Huh?
You build a ladder and you let your kid climb it. That's the better way to.
Well, that's what we do when we go to Lafayette. Like we always had like the big ladders.
They started making regulations against height restrictions and stuff now.
Really?
For like Yeah. Or like the ladders can't be the closest ones to the barricade or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, whatever.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. We
They're
use
just wishing
kids
they
to
had
catch
cute
beads,
kids
not
to get the
boobs.
beads. Yeah.
Okay?
Cute kids get way more beads. Trust me. I've used my children just for that. And they're adorable.
Look how adorable they are. Can we get the big
They are
beads?
beautiful. Give me that big fucking bead now.
So cool. All right. So I guess we can actually get into our book.
Okay. Wait, what are we doing? What's going on?
99%
What happened?
mine.
Yeah, let's talk about 99% mine, guys. So this is a single POV contemporary romance with a hilarious brother-best friend trope. It's definitely more on the slow burn side of things, but holy hell, guys, is the anticipation hot. Sally Thorne is a master at giving you just enough character background at just the right time and still keep you guessing until the very end. The emotional and physical relationship is very well balanced, just how we like it.
Yep. I like it equally balanced. So this is a highly anticipated new release. Pretty much everyone was talking about it. And poor Sally Thorne probably felt so much pressure to live up to the expectations set by readers and deliver something equally as well received as The Hating Game. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, 99% Mine is a huge success.
Huge.
And I think she definitely did it. She succeeded.
Oh, yeah. We both agreed to this when we were buddy reading this one.
Oh, yeah.
So-
This was a fun buddy read for us.
Yes, we haven't done that in
great.
so long. It was awesome. If you're expecting another story exactly like The Hating Game, this is not it, guys. And I am ecstatic that we are getting an original story. Oftentimes, these authors who have a widely publicized, successful debut novel are sort of boxed into a corner, you know?
Yeah.
Where they are expected to churn another story that's pretty much the same as the one they are known for.
Yeah, I kind of very much agree with that. I didn't want another The Hating Game.
Right, I didn't either.
And I've seen a couple reviews that are along the lines of not like The Hating Game. And I get a little frustrated because do we really need the same story told twice?
No, we don't.
No.
We want a brand new story.
Exactly. Let her spread her wings and explore different tropes. And 99% Mine sucked me in and had my emotions swinging all over the damn place.
Yeah.
Just like when I read The Hating Game. So I had a similar reading experience.
Yes.
But it's definitely not the same story, and I like it even more for that.
Yeah, agreed.
So Juliette mentioned earlier that we did a buddy read for this one, which means we both had not read it, and we were reading it at the same time. And if you've been listening to us, you know that we do Facebook voice messages, which you can record a voice message that's about a minute long and send it.
Communicate like all day long.
And so we communicate all day long. Like while she's working, if I get a break, I'll go listen to the voice message she sent me and vice versa. Well, I'm going to play a couple of voice messages just so you can like believe exactly what our first reactions were. So this is Juliette.
Tom is like amazing. I am so in love with him. I want to talk about something with Loretta's inheritance, but I don't want to talk about it until you're caught up to me because I don't want to say anything. But I do love how she's so much like her grandmother, you know, that free spirit and everything. But her heart condition, I think, has tremendous amount to do with Darcy's personality and her rebelliousness and need to run and fly free and stuff. But we'll talk more about that later.
So this was Juliette teasing me before I started getting into the part that she was at. And I was like, I need to catch up with her.
I couldn't control myself.
And then here is me freaking out.
Oh, this is a devastating line. Fuck. I feel like I'm fast tracking. I'm at the beginning of chapter 8, by the way. I feel like I'm fast tracking a total implosion of my relationship with Tom. When it happens, I'll have lost another person. Loretta, my parents, Jamie, Tom, truly. How many more special people do I have left? I itch to walk out. No one can leave me if I leave first. Both these characters are breaking my heart. My emotions are crazy right now. Why? Why, Sally Thorne, are you doing this to me? Do you know? Does she know what she's doing to me? I feel like she knows, and she's like wickedly cackling while she's writing this. I want to kind of cry a little bit, but I can't stop.
That pretty much sums up my whole reading experience.
Yeah.
I was like, why is she making me feel all of these emotions?
Yeah.
And just like swinging me back and forth.
Yeah.
So we love it. It's still very much a Sally Thorne novel, but with a different twist and fresh new characters. I just love it. It's still the same type of voice, but
yes, I loved it.
original.
I loved it 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes. So jumping right into our main characters, we have Darcy Barrett, who is a world traveler. She's been traveling since she was 18. She just bounces all over the world. She's a photographer. She's also a sugar addict, which is freaking hilarious when she goes in these little...
Her stop for her sugar was great.
And her arguments with like the convenience store
Yes, and he was fussing at her
clerk.
from eating so much
Yeah,
sugar.
he's like trying to get her to go on keto or something. And gluten-free. I don't know what he's trying to do. Anyway, and she also has a twin brother, Jamie.
More about him later.
Yes, much more about Jamie. Then there is Tom Valeska, the most beautiful. We're going to wax poet. As a matter of fact, this might just be 2 hours long of us just discussing how beautiful Tom is.
I'll try to rein her in, guys.
Perfect fucking man. Okay. Anyway, he is welcomed into the Barrett family fold. He's reliable. He's steady. He's the owner of a small chihuahua named is Patsy.
It's Peppermint Patty.
Peppermint Patty. That's right, Patty. And 99% James's best friend, according to Darcy.
Yeah, he's definitely 99% Jamie's best friend.
Yes.
Only according to Darcy.
Right. So that is our spoiler-free part of the episode. So if you have not read this book, you need to zip one out and get it like quickly.
Read it quick and then come back.
Yes, because you want to hear all this stuff.
Definitely. Spoilers abound, guys. We're
That's
not holding
right.
back.
And I just can't. I've been so anxious to talk about this ever since we started.
Yes.
Like, I'm super excited.
So let's start with the showdown.
So first, let's talk about Showdown. You're going to go first, ma'am. I want to hear your Showdown.
Alrighty. Okay, so I had a hard time picking between two particular scenes.
Okay.
But I think this one, I really like it a lot just because it's hilarious.
There's so many funny scenes.
It really is. Okay, so I don't know. The other one maybe?
You just don't want to lose to me.
I don't. I want to pick the best one.
You better not pick mine.
No.
Oh, come on. Just spill it.
Okay. All right. So my favorite scene is whenever Darcy and Tom are having like a good heart to heart, and then her friend Truly comes in. And Truly comes with her underswears. And she tells Darcy, she's like, hey, I have some more underswears for you to photograph. And she's like, we're doing men's now too. And they need models.
Yes.
And Darcy,
by the way, Jessen is not lisping. It's underswears. There's like...
Yeah, there's swear words. Like, it's like dipshit. And
on the back.
Like,
asshole.
what is it? Like, it's something asshole on it. It's great. I just love it. So... Darcy's lamenting that she's going to have to select models from like, an ad company, and she's going to get all kind of dick pics. And then Truly's like, Tom has a great ass. Let's just use him. And so Tom gets roped into doing this.
Yes.
And Darcy's photographing him. The commentary is hilarious, what
It's
she's
so
saying
good.
to him. And then she's like, okay, so turn around.
And
Tom's like, I can't. She's like, no, hurry up. It's fine. Like, you look fine. He's like, I really have an issue going on here.
Yeah,
Whenever
really
he turns
can't.
around, he definitely has a hard on. And she does not just ignore it. She definitely draws attention to it. And then she starts talking about like, oh, well, okay, let's talk about something different. Like, building and job construction. And he's like, I think it's making it worse.
Yeah, stop talking about all those tools.
And she's like, you weirdo. And it was just a
But
great
she does
scene.
like talk about hammers and drills and whatever.
Yes. And I just find it super funny. And it was kind of a moment. They needed that. They needed that humor.
I think
after
that
what
was
had
the first
happened before.
playful scene we see of Tom.
Very playful.
Yes.
And I enjoyed making him uncomfortable a little bit.
Okay.
And Darcy getting some good half naked pictures of Tom.
That was an awesome scene. I love that scene so much.
So what is yours?
Okay, so mine is mine is the first time where it's the first kiss. Okay, with the rain. And the reason it's not just because it's the first kiss, but it's a fucking hot kiss.
Oh, yeah.
But it's because it's where Darcy throughout the book has talked about his beast, about Valeska, the beast, inside him.
I like how she separates, like, there's Tom, and then whenever he's acting more on, like, animal instincts and using his alpha voice, he's totally Valeska at that moment. I love that.
Yes. And so, but this is the first time he's gone beast mode on her. And like, I'm using a quote. Okay. He says, no one else is kissing you anymore. He tells me in a conversational hush, not breaking our contact, your mouth is mine. Ooh. And I just like, it was so unexpected because Tom up to this point has been very, not passive, but kind of, you know what I mean?
He's like the peacemaker, the mediator.
Yes.
He wants everything to go swimmingly for everybody.
And so we don't see this aggressive, really aggressive nature in him all the time. And this time it's almost like it's the first time he's claiming. Like, you know.
And I do love his voice
hot.
that he uses, and Darcy distinguishes that voice, that like alpha voice that he uses, like to command people.
Yes.
So
no. That's a funny. Okay.
Definitely good scene.
All right.
Good scene.
Good showdown. All right. So before we jump into the breakdown, though, I wanted to ask you, Jess, what do you think sets this book apart from The Hating Game?
I think, first of all, Sally Thorne gave us different kind of characters.
Yes.
Darcy was nothing like Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
I loved how she was super outwardly confident.
Yes.
She stood up to people.
Showed up who the alpha was.
Yes, exactly. she was like, yeah, I'm going to make you my bitch. I'm going to stare you down. It's just like completely opposite. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was like kind of caught off guard. And then I was like, yes, I'm here for this. I'm on this train. And I liked how the vulnerability in Tom, I guess you would say it's kind of similar in regards to like Josh.
But even more so probably.
Right, more so.
Or it's obvious. It's more obvious, I guess.
Right, it is more obvious. So I think and also it was in more of a contained setting where it was more just Tom and Darcy in not like a work setting or anything. It was like just more their history with each other, and they had a lot more history.
Oh yeah, there's a huge
Lucy
backstory with them that's carried throughout.
So I find that there was just more digging deep going on.
More depth.
Much more depth with their
relationship. Yeah.
Yes. So I really enjoyed it. But you still get the same feeling. Like you still get the same character development, rich characters and rich backstory. It's just beautiful the way everything develops.
Good. Awesome. That's pretty much how I felt. So go figure.
Yeah. So let's get into the breakdown. But before we do dive in, I challenge our listeners to a drinking game. If you've listened to any of our other podcast episodes, you know this to be true, but maybe more so for this episode. I'm not sure. But I challenge you to take a shot for every time I say I love it, because I say it a lot. And you will get wasted. Yeah.
Take a vodka dessert shots.
If you can find king cake vodka, do that. If you can
find some king cake vodka, do that.
So yeah, no, seriously, you'll die. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do that, please, guys. We want y'all to stay with us.
Let's start this breakdown.
All right, so let's start. Let's get in. So Darcy works at Devil's Inn Bar, which is a very tough crowd. A lot of bikers hang out there, right?
Right.
You know, and they even have like a bouncer who's there pretty much round the clock, you know, at the door, and also kind of a rough looking dude. And I love how she says like they have these like frat boys who come in and like the opening
they're looking
scene.
for that experience.
Yeah, they love being treated like dirt. These boys want the full biker bar safari experience, and I am their tour guide.
Yeah.
She always treats them like total shit, and they come on to her harder, which is hilarious.
Darcy's a take no shit woman.
So, and we learn also, you know, just through her internal thoughts, that her grandmother has died and willed the house to her and Jamie on a condition that they would renovate to sell on a specific budget. And so they've been having a hard time finding a contractor and getting like all this together,
because
you know,
they know like a ton more money is going to be need to put in the house than
it is really run down.
Yeah.
So Loretta, their grandmother, was a psychic.
I love that. It's
I do
so
too.
Just like
it is.
I love it.
It's very woo woo, and like I love that she related to her grandmother a lot.
They're both kind of like just like weird
free spirits.
Yeah, free spirits.
So she was a psychic. She told fortunes. She read tarot cards, you know, the whole shebang. One thing we also learned is that she willed to Jamie, Darcy's twin brother, her ring, the sapphire ring that Darcy had really wanted.
Yeah,
and
Darcy
we don't
really wanted it.
Yeah, we don't really understand why. Like what?
Yeah, like why would her grandmother give Jamie the ring?
Yeah, because she even has memories of her grandmother saying, "Oh, it looks so pretty on you," or you know, that kind of thing.
So I knew that was going to come up again.
Yeah, I did too. You and I
liked
when we did our buddy read, I kept going, "Where's the ring, Jessen?"
Yes, I actually teased her. I'm like, "You're obsessed with what happens with this ring."
Like, would you shut up about the ring?
I'm like, I made my prediction, and let's see what happens.
Yeah. All right, shut up. Okay.
Which I was actually kind of wrong, but kind of right.
Well, you're kind of right too.
Kind of right, but kind of wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was kind of close.
So Darcy, the one thing we do know is that Darcy has been traveling since she's been like 18. And she's she's mid-20s now, 26,
I would say
27.
late 20s.
Late 20s? Yeah. So she's been doing this for a while. She'll come home for a little bit, earn a little money, and then move on, go somewhere else around the world. So this is a question I have. What do you think? Do you think Loretta saw what was going to happen and that's why she had all these conditions? Because, I mean, why else would she have been a psychic? She has all these conditions for the house. And
I think, yes.
Because they had to renovate it together. She had to stay here in order to get that all done.
Right, exactly. And I don't know if she saw that Tom was definitely going to be a part of the renovations.
Yeah.
I mean, it made sense for Tom to be a part of the renovations, even if he was still with his former employee and did not start his own company.
Right.
He would have been a part of it anyway. And I think that, I definitely think that it was to keep Darcy there a little bit longer and like make her and Jamie like agree. I think it was also because of, she really didn't spend time with Jamie doing anything like hard labor-ish or anything like difficult or physical because of her heart condition. And I don't know. I feel like, I saw Loretta set this whole thing up.
I saw
Loretta
her
set
hand
all of this
in a lot
up.
of this.
The
I
ring,
agree.
everything. It was purposeful. Yes, Loretta's a psychic.
Yeah, and so Darcy and Jamie are fighting right now. As a matter of fact, Jamie went back to wherever he lives. I can't even remember what city he's in.
I think it's pretty vague.
Yeah,
we never get
we
a
don't
city.
really know. He was working elsewhere, but she basically somebody showed up on the doorstep with a contract to do the construction job, and she basically ripped it up in their face and
it was for like a development though, and she didn't want a
she's like
development
no,
to
she
go
didn't want
where
that.
the house was.
Exactly. So she wanted to stay true to Loretta, and Jamie got all upset and basically
because he was looking at the dollar signs.
Dollar signs, exactly.
But they both
we learned that Jamie's all about kind of the money. He's following the money.
Exactly. But they both have big personalities,
Huge
and so
personalities.
they clash a lot.
Yes,
They call it a Barrett brawl whenever that happens, you know?
I love that.
Yeah.
And so we do also learn about her heart condition. It's more serious than you might think.
Yeah, because she always has like scares. I don't know, what would you call them, like episodes where
she's getting serious heart palpitations where her heart's speeding up. Yeah.
Yes.
Like she even says, I've been working on this jet black disguise for many years now, and it's bulletproof. But some people can tell that I'm a weakling and they try to baby and help me. It must be a survival of the fittest thing, but they're all wrong. I'm not a lame gazelle. I'll be the one chasing the lion. So this is about sort of how she's changed her looks and her appearance to be like outwardly.
Not even the looks and appearance, even her attitude.
Yeah, her attitude too.
She is this like tough, she like works at a biker bar.
See, I think that's why she cut off her hair too.
I think so too, and it's because her parents like to call her princess.
Right, they kept calling her princess with her beautiful long blonde hair, so she cut it to a boy's cut.
Yeah,
you know. So
she just wants people to take her seriously, and she's like a person, not an invalid.
Yeah,
and
we see a lot of that rebellion, you know, that's coming out
even during the scene with whenever she was 18 too. So we get
because Jamie was always allowed to do everything while she had to like sit at home, stay with her grandmother.
Like she couldn't even like go walking down the street and stuff. Just in case
the
something
parents
would
were
happen.
so afraid. Yeah,
she needed to be like inside in the air conditioning and all that. So that was just a lot pressuring her growing up, and when she could
and we get
spread
that
her
early
wings.
on, and I really like that we kind of know the internal conflict. Like, we get it. I totally get it.
Right.
You know?
And there's just more breadcrumbs laid. The further you get, the more you realize how limited she was whenever she was a child by her parents, which it was all done in a loving manner. But, I mean, it could get stifling. I wouldn't know what to do if I was just, you know,
that's why she was running
kept in a
around
little
the world.
bird cage. Yeah.
Trying to get away and live her life.
Exactly. So whenever she gets back home, Tom is at Darcy's grandmother's house, and he started his own construction company. And this is going to be his first big project. So this is like, you know, he's going all in. He needs to prove himself as, you know, working solo.
Right.
And so the Bennett family had welcomed him into the family fold to help out a single mom. And Darcy even says, I love the way that she kind of describes Tom is almost kind of like a dog, like they adopted him. She says, we decided to keep Tom for the summer while his mom was at work, and he was the buffer our family never knew it needed because her and Jamie are always clashing and
at each other's throats.
Right, and he was always there. But I love, he's so loyal. He's so faithful. And she says, when one of the spoiled blonde Barrett twins fell into a crevice, our faithful Valeska would appear. His pretty spooky eyes would assess the situation. Then you'd feel his teeth at your collar. Next, his strength and the humiliating drag to safety. You're useless and he is competent.
I
And
love the description.
Love that. It's like Tom is always there to save the day.
Yes.
And they expect him to.
Yes.
It's big expectations for poor Tom.
And yes, that becomes a problem.
Right.
Later
Darcy
on.
definitely puts Tom on a very high pedestal and even calls him the world's most perfect man to his face.
Yes.
Like, that's the first thing we hear her say to him.
Yeah.
And Darcy and her brother are having a tiff and they aren't on speaking terms. And Tom is pretty much stuck in the middle of them because the stipulation is they're both co-owners of this house and they both have equal say in what happens and what's the design.
And all the
Jamie
decisions that are made. Right.
Jamie wants modern and Darcy wants traditional for the renos. So he's just like, oh, this is going to be hell.
Right.
But Tom looking really fine, and Darcy continually has to remind herself that he's engaged.
He's engaged. He's been with this girl for like 8 years.
But I do love her. Her inner monologue is so funny. She says, sitting around Tom Valeska has given me one hell of a lust sweat. The urge to take it too far always overwhelms me. It has since we both hit puberty. So this has been a long-standing crush that she just kind of like buried down deep and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But she covers up her attraction by teasing him, and he even says it like, I never know if you're serious or not. Like,
are you just
teasing
playing
because
with
I'm
me?
so used like, and she even says she made it into like an Olympic sport, teasing him. So another thing to know about Darcy is she is an award-winning photographer, but she's doing product photos of like dildos and other random things right now.
Yeah, just like for eBay or Etsy or something.
For Etsy, she's doing like product photos for that. But she started photography while her family and Tom took vacations and like ski trips, and she stayed with Loretta because
her grandmother.
She couldn't go on all those types of things. At one point, she was even a traveling wedding photographer, but Tom's engagement happened.
Yeah,
and
I love how we discover that.
Yes, and it's like, he kind of did have a part in ending her wedding photography career, because whenever she found out that he was engaged, she got like super drunk, and then the next morning she was late, and then she was throwing up and stuff. And
she's throwing up at the wedding.
Yeah, she was late throwing up, and the bride wrote a horrible review saying she was so unprofessional and stuff. So it was just,
and it's so sad because Tom's like, why aren't you doing serious photography anymore? And he doesn't know it's all because he got engaged and it broke her heart.
Crushed her.
Yeah.
Just crushed her.
And we don't really know until a certain part, which is really cool. I like the way things are
I think
played
the
out.
Pacing is phenomenal.
It is amazing.
In this book.
It's ridiculous.
She gives you just enough to keep you going, but doesn't lay it all out there in the beginning.
It's
she lets us
stellar.
marinate and predict stuff, which I really enjoy. I think that's why this buddy read was so fun, is because we're throwing out theories.
Yeah, you and I are going back and forth
so much, and it was the funnest thing. Fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
I was just thinking about my theories about Jamie. But anyway.
We'll talk about Jamie.
I was all worked up. I was a little worked up. Yeah, so Tom is definitely a hot commodity, especially in the Barrett family. And Darcy just wants him to be 1 or 2% hers. And she has this thing about talking about how this one's 2% mine. She even talks about her best friend Truly being 100% hers.
Oh, yeah. She's like, but Truly is 100%,
Truly's 100% mine until she gets married. And then I'll have to like kill him or something.
Yeah, she always thinks about the family. Her whole family really has like a timeshare on Tom because, everybody holds like stock in Tom.
Yeah, and it's just, that's a really cool, I love the way she wove the title into Darcy's thought process.
Yeah, it's
about
definitely peppered everywhere in the novel.
Yeah,
and
about
it makes
possession.
Complete sense, and I love it. It's so, whenever you think about 99% mine, it's woven into the entire story.
Yeah, it's not just a title. And I love that it makes so sense for Darcy and Jamie were so freaking competitive, both so spoiled.
Yes, even, okay, so about the ring. She says, she even asked Jamie whenever she found out that Jamie was willed the ring from the grandmother. Mm-hmm. She asked Jamie, can I have the ring? And she says that as soon as she let Jamie know how much she wanted the ring, he wanted to keep it away from her even more.
Yes. He's like, oh no, it's mine. You're never getting it. Yeah. Like, he's such a little selfish ass.
They have such a competitive
They are hilarious together. And I have something to say about Jamie later.
We'll get into him a lot.
She thinks back to the time when she was 18 and she was quite possibly 100% Tom's.
Yeah.
Because we discover
Yeah, let's talk about that scene.
Yeah,
that
let's
whole
talk about that
scene
scene.
happened.
Yeah, because basically she was going out with some friends, some rowdy friends, and
This was her rebellion.
yes, this is her rebellion
She was
phase
wearing
where
dark
she's
clothes.
yes, she's
hanging
sort of getting a
around.
goth phase, and then Tom tells her, he's like, "I love you," and she says, "I know," and he storms off, and we don't really know. Like at that point, I don't know about you, but I was like, does he think she says, "I know," like, yeah, I know you love me platonically, or I know you love me,
And I don't care.
and I don't care.
I think that's how he interpreted it.
I think that's how he interpreted it, but that's not how she interpreted it. Like,
But it's also he asked her to stay and she didn't.
Yeah.
Which kind of, if she did understand that
Yeah.
was, if she did understand that was for real, why did she still go?
yeah, to that party or whatever.
Yes, and I don't know if it was just because her rebellious nature was just too strong. She just needed to show
Yeah.
her parents that she.
And so that formed a rift between them two, and she was devastated about it. She went to her grandmother. Her grandmother gave her some advice.
Yeah, she was like, "You're too much like me."
You're too much like me. You need to go. She basically packed her up,
Mm-hmm.
got her passport and shit, and snuck her to the airport and shipped her across to Europe.
Yeah, she was like, "You need to
She's
go.
like, you need to go
experience
and fly.
things.
You need to go and
Like you're not ready or whatever."
yeah, you're not ready for him. You're not taking this seriously. You need to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so she does. But here's the thing. When she finally figures shit out and comes home, what's happened to Tom?
Tom is in a relationship,
He's
a
in
serious
serious
relationship.
relationship with Megan.
And
they are together for 8 years.
Yes, it's very serious.
And so this is what I'm wondering. What are your thoughts, Jessen? Do you think Loretta gave her the right advice?
Okay, so I have mixed feelings about this suggestion. On the
Yeah.
one hand, it was very important for her to go out and get away from her family and experience the world and not just be like a rebellious person. Like she says, she like threw a coin in the Trevi
Fountain in Rome. Yeah.
Just she was around people who didn't even know about her heart condition and they treated her like a normal person.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I feel like she needed that. But I also felt like her going without talking to Tom first, maybe the grandmother should have said, Loretta should have been like, "Look, you need to sit down with him and you need to first of all apologize for being so cavalier with your response," which this will come up later, you know, in current timeline. But I was just very mixed on that. It's like,
I was too.
On the one hand, I liked it. On the one hand, I was like, could have been handled better.
I know, because by her running away was another rejection to Tom, saying, "I don't need you. I don't want you."
Agreed, because this started her pattern.
And so she started traveling
hey,
constantly.
If things aren't going my way, let's just get on a plane and not deal with it. So I feel like that also started her.
Yeah, and she's been doing this, not for like a couple months. She's been doing this for years. He's been in this relationship with Megan for 8 years, and she's been running and traveling for 8 years.
Right, exactly.
So I don't know. I have mixed feelings too. So Tom gets the twins back on speaking terms, so back in present day. But Jamie tells Darcy that she's going to flirt Tom into doing everything her way, like she always does. Yeah, he's like so frustrated. And Jamie says that she'll be worse than ever because I love this part. He's like, she's going to be worse than ever. And there's all this like skating around something we don't know.
I love that Sally doesn't give us.
I know.
Exactly
I knew what it was.
Me
I
too.
suspected it.
But I like how it wasn't spelled out right away.
And Darcy's like, what? What's going on?
Yeah, it was Jamie's talking about how Tom and Megan actually broke up. Have been broken up for 4 months. But Darcy doesn't know this.
Yeah. And Tom's not telling her.
Nope.
Oh my God, the moment that should have been one of the Showdown scenes was
There's too many scenes.
There's too many scenes.
Poor Showdown. Suffering.
Darcy has decided that she will camp out with Tom and help him with the renovations. She wants to like do this right. And of course, Tom doesn't like this idea. He says, "I can't focus when you're around. You're a liability." Now, this comes to misunderstanding happening between how Tom meant this. He can't focus because he's in love with her. Okay.
And also he's worried about her.
And he's
this
worried
is
about
a
her heart
dangerous
condition. It's a dangerous
site.
construction site. I mean, they're tearing shit down. You know what I mean? This isn't just like paint jobs. So, but of course, Darcy's just thinking, "Oh, I'm a liability because I'm
the word liability.
so weak." Yeah.
I think the word liability is really what got her hackles
It
raised.
It did.
Because she's always felt like a liability
Yes.
to her family. She was
Yes.
always a hindrance. They couldn't take the Disney trip because Darcy. But as soon as Tom got in the picture, they were like, "Oh, you take Tom and you go do the fun things." And she's just always felt like that, which is such a blow to her. So it's like every time I would get aggravated with Darcy's hard shell and she would say something because she's feeling a little bit vulnerable. then we would come back to what she's experienced, and it would bring me right back into feeling sorry for her and
I know.
empathizing with her. So Sally Thorne is just so great.
I know.
God. But yeah, again, Darcy just sees herself as almost a shackle on her family's happiness, and even tells Tom that she's glad that he went on the family trips in her place because it was a vacation from stressing out about her.
Isn't that sad?
Can you imagine?
She was wishing her family just to have fun and not worry about her for a while. You know? It's so sad.
Yeah, and she thinks to herself, just like, because she has problems with her heart, and every time she like looks like she's having a problem with her heart, people are like jumping, like, are you okay? Are you okay? And she says, like, the stark look in his eyes reminds me of why I stayed behind at the airport as a child. I am stress, fear, uncertainty. I am a liability. And I'm like, no, Darcy.
So sad.
And it's so sad that even though she's had all these years to be worldly, she still doesn't have enough clarity about her position in her family and about how much people love her and don't see her as a liability. So it's just, you know, so sad. But,
and I actually felt this totally with her. It builds up to like my meltdown when Jamie shows up too.
Right. No, that was a great scene.
Okay, we'll talk.
So this is, I really enjoyed this. This forced proximity situation happening at the build site where Darcy wanted to stay with Tom is a tactic that I really enjoy in romance. It really allows the characters' feelings to develop more quickly and in certain situations.
Yeah, now that's actually a similarity to the hating game.
Right, exactly.
You know?
It's for especially for like seemingly opposite personalities to connect on a deeper level. Like if on face value, you would never put these two together. But if you force them into a room, get them talking, find commonalities, and delve deeper into their personality.
Oh, we were talking about that the other day with The Deal by Elle Kennedy. It's another one.
Exactly. That's a perfect example of another kind of forced proximity situation.
I really like that.
Me too. It's on our list.
All right.
So yeah, I just really enjoyed it, and it let us explore them a lot better.
I agree.
As people, and especially together, let them understand each other. So Darcy tends to lash out at people when she's feeling vulnerable. And she does this often with Tom, saying things that she doesn't mean or without really thinking them through, which leads to a bunch of misunderstandings. And she's really trying to change and not be the person who runs all the time because of all these misunderstandings. She sees how it kind of hurts Tom. And she also can't run away because her passport happens to be missing,
Yeah,
which
her
she thinks her
passport's
twin has hidden from her.
Yeah,
she's like,
Jamie's taken her
"Stupid
passport.
Jamie took it in rebellion for me,
Yeah,
scaring
little
off that
asshat.
contractor or whatever, the developer." So yeah, it's brought to light that Tom and his fiance are no longer together during a scene where one of Darcy's, fuck buddies comes over their vent.
It's one of the best scenes ever.
He's not important, but yeah, that comes to light. She even thinks that Vince was lying or whatever. She's like, "Oh no, you and Megan aren't together. You aren't not together." Tom's like, "We have not been together for 4 months." So Darcy's excited about this.
Excited.
She's a little bit more.
She
kind of
loses
becomes
her
unhinged.
mind.
She kind of becomes unhinged. Darcy wants to try and be totally honest with him. And the realization that Tom is a free man for the first time in almost a decade makes the next scene fucking hilarious.
It is so funny.
She says
So
she thinks
funny.
to herself, "I'm not a romantic. I'll fix that later." Tom, Valeska, get in me. She tells this to Tom, like legit. She's like,
dying.
"Okay, so are you gonna unbuckle your pants now? Like, drop them."
Yeah, like
and
the bedroom's
he is
there.
freaking out. She says internally, he lets out a shaky breath, and there's a light of fear in his eyes. "I'm a scary bitch. He's a bashful sweetheart with pink cheeks." I love the idea of Darcy being so aggressive that Tom's like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah, she's like half his size, but she's like terrified him.
She's like breaking freaking cabinets and shit.
Yeah, she's
like
literally breaking
destroying
the kitchen, destroying the kitchen because she's like she doesn't know what to do with herself, so she just starts pulling cabinets down.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's
until that line, Tom.
It's just a lot of emotions running for Darcy.
So fucking hilarious.
Tom is just like, "What is going on?" and pretty much rejects her.
Are you serious?
And Darcy takes the rejection as Tom not being interested in her at all, and that the feelings are one-sided. Which this is just another misunderstanding.
Yeah.
But understandably, that really did come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So Tom
Tom's a little freaked out.
Yeah. And then even later, more clarity comes to the situation where later on in the story, he asks why she came on to him. And his immediate thoughts are, were you lonely? Were you mad? Or are you trying to get back at me for something? Like, he really didn't understand.
Yeah, he thought she was like antagonizing him.
And it really, I feel like her teasing nature with Tom really just confused him. Like, he really had no idea. He doesn't know what's real.
Yeah. He had no idea her feelings for him.
Maybe he was like, yeah, well, I'm an attractive guy. I would understand why she would be attracted to me. But I don't think that, especially since that scene whenever they were 18, they really hadn't had that much time.
Well, and he even said in that, like later, he's like, I didn't tell you about Megan because I knew this is what would have happened. Because they've been having this sort of angsty sexual lust or whatever since puberty, both of them, but they've not come clean about the feelings of love.
Right. Well, he tried. Poor thing.
Tom tried.
Darcy needs to handle his feelings with care.
Yeah, she cannot treat Tom like Jamie.
No.
The way they treat each other is hilarious, though. Tom is definitely feeling the pressure of owning his own business now, after we kind of get past that scene. And his ex-boss is not making things easier for him at all. Aldo? How do you say his name? I don't know. But anyway, because he's taken a couple of guys from, not taken them, they came with him, willingly. To the new site, willingly with the new site. But they're kind of watching his every move. Like, you've basically got a lot to prove.
Especially like Colin. He's like older, more experienced, and he just like, I think he admires Tom for starting his own business, but
he expects him to fail.
We talked about it. It's not that, you're going to fail because you're new at this. It's because he's taking on a totally different role. Yeah. He's not just doing physical manual labor. He has to
You have to be the helm of the ship. You're organizing and calling and all of that.
He has to take all these messages, organize all kind of stuff, and it's a very different role than what he's used to playing.
Yeah. And so Darcy, after her unhinged episode, she's like, I'm going to try to be better. I'm not going to drink so much. I'm going to take my heart medicine, which is expired, by the way, because she hasn't been to the doctor in a long time. She doesn't go to the doctor alone, and Jamie has gone to everyone with her. Right. And they're fighting, so she hasn't
been to the doctor and hasn't felt like taking care of herself anyway.
Right. So, but she decides she's going to try to do better and help Tom, be an asset. Tom asked Darcy to take pictures of the house to keep Jamie in the loop. And also so they can have some before and after pictures for his website. He's trying to, build this business.
But the ulterior motive.
Yes. But his ulterior motive is to get her taking pictures again besides Etsy stuff.
Yeah.
And it works. It works. As she starts to get behind that lens again and not just like snapshots of the dildos.
Yeah, because she could just take those product photos in her sleep. It's not.
It's nothing. Really it's like on a flat lay sort of surface, whatever.
Right, exactly.
But now she's taking pictures of the corners of the house,
inspires her.
The life inside the house, and then even like the workers. She takes pictures of Colin.
I love that. Scene.
And I love how she even talked about like the young guy Alex who's always flirting with her, and Tom's like, I thought you would have taken pictures of him. She's like, he's got no angles, and he's basically said he has a boring face because he's no shadows and stuff. She needs all like the cool shadows and stuff.
Colin's like craggy.
And he's craggy, old, crotchety, but he's like perfect for the camera. Yeah. It's awesome. So Jamie calls Darcy for progress updates, and he gets a little taste of being the one outside looking in. I love how Darcy taunts him too.
Yeah, she's like, so now you know how it feels.
Yeah, now you know how it feels. I'm over here handling shit, man.
Yeah, and you're the one out of the loop.
Yeah. And then he's asking how things are going with Tom.
Yeah.
And he's like, cut the shit. When he's in the same room, you're a drooling mess, like for years, and it's painfully obvious. That's why he tried not to tell you. That was about breaking up with Megan. He's embarrassed to be around you. He's never going to reciprocate. Okay.
Oh my God. Can I please? I need to interrupt you for a second. Were you?
Well, I was going to ask you, were you as pissed off with Jamie after reading this as I was?
Yeah. Hands down, I was like, this dude is a fucking douchebag. I'm like, he has no regard for his sister's feelings.
Yeah.
I'm like, he is being awful.
He was.
And I was extremely pissed off at him. And I was like, I feel like he's doing something to keep them away from each other.
Yeah, you and I are like, is he plotting? What is going on?
He has ulterior motives. I'm like, he's like jealous of Darcy or something. But since we're in the spoiler sections, I do have to say that my opinion at the end of the novel is Jamie's probably the best example at what an amazing writer Sally Thorne is, because he is so fucking complicated. He has so many layers, so many reasons why he does what he does. And half of the reason why he's saying this shit is because I guess Darcy has exuded this thick exterior, and I don't think that he thinks that he's hurting her feelings as much. And also because they really do love Tom so much. Like he is like just this amazing person. And it is kind of a competitive thing.
It is a competitive thing. And I was seriously hating on Jamie at this point.
Yeah.
And I could see that they had this, banter-ish relationship, these two. It's, but I hadn't seen like his true feelings. And when we do later, I literally started crying when he shows up. Like I literally was crying.
Yeah. I'm just,
because it's so beautiful.
All
the things he
feels.
says to her later,
Yeah, just
and
all the
again,
feels
you're
about
right.
Jamie.
This is all like Sally Thorne's genius. So
yeah, but I think that this was another line that he says later on in this same scene while he's saying these horrible things. I think that this gave me a little bit of hope for Jamie. And he says, if you make him get all wrapped up in your drama and get a little crush on you only for you to leave, just like when we were 18, I will never speak to you again. So it's like he also
he cares about Tom.
Yeah, he cares about Tom, doesn't want her to hurt him.
Yeah.
So I was very confused.
Me
about
too.
Jamie.
I was like,
Conflicted.
me too.
So conflicted.
You and I, because that's what was fun about the buddy read. If I didn't have anybody to talk to, I would have been freaking out. Because I was just like, I don't know what's going on. What's going on with Jamie? Like, what is he doing? What's happening here? Yeah. So then we also are introduced to Darcy's friend Truly, who is adorable.
She's cute. I love her idea for underswears.
Oh my God. She has to take her pictures for the underswears.
Yeah, this is my showdown scene.
Yes,
where
this is
Tom
her showdown where Tom comes in and is which y'all kind of know that scene. But the underswears is the cutest idea. I was wondering, did Sally Thorne see this somewhere? She needs to go make some underswears and get them going. It's the cutest idea.
I would definitely wear some underswears.
I would wear underswears in a heartbeat.
I'm
but anyway,
down for
it's a really cute idea. And Truly, and again, that's the scene where we get physical representation of Tom's feelings for Darcy.
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm just... Ooh.
She also gets to ogle his hot ass in the
yes,
in the underswears.
Delicious.
Yeah,
I love all of that scene, obviously, because it's just beautiful. So Darcy thinks that Colin, Tom's employee, is Jamie's mole, reporting everything.
Yeah, because
Jamie
does
let it slip.
Yeah,
that I know everything.
I know everything's going on over there.
On the inside.
You think I don't? You think I don't know what's going on over there?
So that's what Darcy thinks. And I was like, okay, well, it can't be Colin. I was like, because then that's too obvious. I thought it was Alex. I was like, Alex is
the young
the
guy
one who's like super friendly and always
very
hanging
flirty
out with her.
even.
And I was like, it's the one you don't suspect.
Yeah.
Guess what? I was wrong.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later, but I was wrong.
Yeah, me too.
But I like being wrong. I don't want to always be right.
Yeah.
It's no fun.
We don't want it to be that predictable.
No,
and it wasn't.
So I like how when Darcy fucks up, she truly examines her actions and she tries to remedy them. Like when she suggests drinks after the first week and Tom gets annoyed. So Truly gives Darcy advice to unpick her mistake and keep on sewing because Truly, she's making her underswear. That's what she does. So I like how the analogy fit her.
Yeah.
And that Darcy needs to find out what she can do for Tom and just do it because he's obviously not coping. This is hard for him being in charge of all this. So she apologizes to the workers saying, hey, we can't go out and go get drinks. I wasn't aware that the, celebration party is supposed to happen after everything was done.
Sorry.
And so she puts the blame on herself and suggests pizza and soda as an alternative. And this endears her to Tom. Tom just like grateful about that.
Yeah, and he kind of smiles. I like that.
Yeah, and Darcy.
Yeah.
But she also offers to answer the phone for Tom for a while so that Tom can have some gym time and also swim, which is something that he hasn't really done in years because he just hadn't had
It's like a stress
time.
reliever she remembers when he was younger, you know?
So she's like, I can do that for you because Tom's phone is always going off, like constantly going off all the time.
Yeah, she's like, give me your phone and go.
Yeah, like just go. I can totally do this. I'll take messages. It's fine. So they're both helping each other find themselves again. And I love it.
It's beautiful.
Like he's getting her back into photography. She's giving him a freaking break. And like, you just need to be Tom for a while.
Yeah.
And just the emotional development between these two. They're making each other the best they can be. Okay?
I want to reread it right now.
So One night, Tom says he needs to talk to her about something, and they go out for drinks where things get a little steamy. You know, they're kind of like,
I love that.
Darcy kind of offers, I'm going to help you get back in the game, whatever. She's really not thinking she has a real chance with Tom, especially after the whole scene where Tom kind of rejected her.
Yeah.
But
I love how he drags her stool like between his thighs.
legs.
So
I
she's
love that imagery.
Oh my God, it's so sexy.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Can we turn down the air in here? I'm getting a little steamy.
It's a little hot in here.
But yeah, so what he ends up by telling her is that he and Jamie think that they want to create a more open floor plan for the house to sell well. And there's one wall inside the house that has a fireplace that Darcy has constantly been saying, like, don't touch this fireplace. That was the first thing
she told the workers.
Yeah, don't touch
precious.
it.
Yeah.
Don't touch a nail in here. And he's like, we really need to take it down. And so he basically talks her into it.
Yeah, so the open concept floor plan, which is what people want.
Right. Whenever they get back to the house, Tom's like, let's go around the side. But for some reason, Darcy wants to go in through the front. And whenever she goes in there, she sees there's no more wall, no more fireplace. And she's like,
it's already down. And
she's like, oh, so you did this before I even agreed. So you and Jamie just decided this without me. Again, she's feeling very left out. Right. And she's just
kind of used a little bit. Maybe he was just playing her at the bar. All that flirtiness was like,
and he was like,
just
no,
him?
He's just like, I'm really under a time crunch. The contractors needed to be able to do it then. And I just thought that in the morning it would be done and whatever. So she's really hurt by it. But Tom's just feeling this pressure to get the renovations done quickly and under budget because that's what's expected of him. And he says, that's my role in your family, right? I've got to achieve whatever you guys need instantly and perfectly or I'm out. And then later he says, you hold me to a standard I cannot possibly achieve. I've been trying for years though, believe me. And I'm just like dying inside for Tom because I understand it. I understand it.
And we also have to understand Tom, he had no father. Their father abandoned them. His mother worked constantly. I mean, he really didn't have a family.
No,
okay?
No
and
family,
so his only family
no stability.
Was,
which is why he works so hard.
Right. He works so hard and it's something he's wanted and he loves them like his family, but he feels like if he doesn't achieve these things for them, they're not going to keep it.
Right. If he's not perfect, then they won't want him.
Right.
And he doesn't feel like his place is really solid with them, which is very sad after being a part of the family for years and years.
Right.
But so Darcy's really sentimental about the house and the fireplace, which I understand.
Yeah.
But I also understand Tom's point that she lived there on and off for years and could have lit that fireplace any damn time. And that she thinks that she can pick things up and put them back down, expecting them to always be there. And I feel like that was really about how she treated Tom whenever she was 18. It's like she went off and she explored the world, and whenever she came back, she like expected things maybe could have picked back up for Tom. Yeah. And Tom was already moved on. So I feel like, it is a real problem for Darcy. Yeah. She does expect things to remain the same. Yeah. Even while she goes do other things. So, you know what? Tom's calling her on her bullshit.
She is spoiled. You know what I mean?
She is. Tom's calling her out on it, and I like that. And I like these character flaws. Like, I love these character flaws.
Me too. I thought it was great.
Makes them real. Makes them so real.
And this is where we really... it digs deep with Tom, where we see that he's always trying to make sure that he earns their keep, which is heartbreaking. He says, when you grow up dirt poor and adopted like a rescue dog, you will do anything to fit what you're needed for.
No.
It's just like, that's not how they feel about him, but it's how he feels. Yeah. You know what I mean? His feelings are very genuine. And I can see that the way they're so flippant sometimes and, but they really
especially with his like feelings. Like,
yes.
They're really not putting themselves in his place.
No, they're not considering things because they've grown up with everything, family, money, everything's been very easy for them, and it's been the exact opposite for Tom.
Right.
Darcy says that she has measured every single man I've ever met against you. No one compares. You are perfect, Tom Valeska. Perfect for me. Do you want me even though I'm hardly worthy? And so this is when...
Yeah, Tom is like, okay, so I really have a chance. Like, this is like,
this is where it finally sinks in. He's like, she's not playing with me at all.
Because I feel like they both like tear open their hearts in this scene. Yeah, he exposes his vulnerability. She's like, look, I was a liability all my life. I was glad that y'all were free of me on y'all vacation time. And I think that since they're both so open, Tom's like, oh, wait, so she really could have real feelings for me? Like, it wasn't just a physical thing that she propositioned with me before. So I feel like that allows them to have this soul-searing kiss.
Yes,
and
that
it just,
kiss
opens
was
the door.
everything. Yes, it was
just
beautiful.
And oh God, I love it. And she was like,
and the description of that kiss, of how she's like, this is where, like, she goes back in time. Like, this should have been going on all this time we've been apart. It was just like, I don't even know how she did it.
I also like the line because Tom talks about why he and Megan didn't work out, and he observed Darcy's parents
together,
her dad coming up behind her mom and like kind of just like smelling her mom's like shoulder, like the crook in her neck, and he tried to do that with Megan, and she was like, "Ooh, you're sweaty,
you're sweaty, go away."
And so whenever Tom and Darcy are getting into this really steamy scene, Darcy says, "Tell me I smell right," and tell me I smell right. And Tom's like, "You smell like the only person." And I'm just like,
it's like, oh my God,
yes,
it's like
Tom.
the best line.
Like, kill me.
The
I
best
love it.
line.
Yeah.
Oh God, and
it's so good.
I can tell you, I was worried because her little heart would go off like a shot all the time. So I was worried about them having sex and like it killing her.
Oh my God, me too. I was like, how is this going to work?
Yes. But the way the physical activity, it rolls in a way that it's like Tom goes slow, and it, even though it's like intense and beautiful and everything, it's managed in a way.
It's not like she's not able to have sex. She had sex with
she's had sex with other men, but I always thought that she's having sex with guys that don't do anything for her. Right. You know what I mean? They don't get her.
But I do like the way that Tom asked about it, and she was just like, "Yeah, just don't press on my chest." And he was like, "Okay, well, we're gonna flip this way." And I'm just like, "Oh my God, Tom,
that was hot as
control."
fuck. Oh my God.
But
he's like, "Okay, I've got another idea." That was awesome. That was beautiful.
So it just works out, and just I'm glad that Sally Thorne didn't just ignore it. Like, she does have a heart condition. So
this is the part that really got me. So the next morning, Darcy wakes up and Tom's not there. He's gone. And little Peppermint Patty, the little chihuahua, gets out and is almost run over by Tom returning in the truck. Okay.
Yes. It freaks Darcy out.
Yeah, it freaks her out. Her heart starts, she has like an episode, like a serious episode where she's like sort of like bending over and she can feel her heart like just
she like
straining.
looks gray.
And her heart goes haywire. And so Jamie hops out. Tom is apparently picking Jamie up from the airport.
Yeah, Jamie took a red eye or whatever.
Yes, and he's worried about her. And this is where Jamie redeems himself to me and shows his true colors. I just have to share this one. This is when I texted him, I was like crying. Okay, because this is where Jamie says, because her heart's going fast, and Jamie pulls her into like a hug, like a tight hug. And he says, "I'm your walking, talking organ donor. I'd better make myself available." And she's like, "You've got one heart, you idiot." And he says, "I know, I'm keeping it warm for you."
I know.
Like, Jamie loves his sister. In this moment, he tells her how important she is and everything. And it is just the most beautiful scene. I was just like, I was so wrong about Jamie. He loves his sister.
Yeah, and you really get a feel that his spy, whoever he sent to spy on her, it was really looking out for her, making sure she's not overextending herself. Yes. It was really about that.
Yes.
And it just endears Jamie to me so much more. You really just see how much he cares about Darcy. No matter the barbs that they throw at each other, they really, truly care for each other so much.
And so we have this short sort of like dance around each other where Tom and Darcy are pretending nothing happened. Yeah. And Jamie like sees a hickey on her neck. Is like, "Hey, you got a new one?" And of course it's Tom that put it there.
Because her sexual exploits are just like famous because she's never settled down.
Her one-nighters. Yeah. So he's still kind of being a jerk, but like playfully, and he's, again, very flawed. We like all these flawed characters. Darcy agrees to keep her and Tom's relationship a secret for the sake of the renovation. Because, like, they're, like, whispering behind his back when, like, Jamie's, like, going around the house, poking around. Places. But then when Tom leaves the room, Jamie and Darcy are together. Like, shit hits the fan really fast. And this is where we see, when she describes it as a Barrett battle, where they start shooting back and forth, and she finally like admits, he's the one who gave me the ticky. We slept together, and like
he's mine.
Yeah, he mine. He's all mine. Like, and so then it's all out.
Oh
but
yeah,
this is not good.
It's all out, and then Jamie also flubs and reveals that he's interested in Darcy's friend Truly.
Yeah,
and she's like, no,
she's mine.
So their competitive nature is full on out. But Tom has reached the end of his freaking rope with the Barrett twins. Yeah. He's just furious that the one thing that he asked of Darcy was just too much to handle or take seriously. She
Yeah.
told Jamie 5 minutes after, well, he says 30, but it feels like 5.
Yeah.
5 minutes after that they agreed to keep it secret so that he could get past the renovations. He just didn't want any drama. He just wanted to get past
He
this
just
thing
wanted
that's
to get his
stressing him
job
out.
done. Yeah.
This has been stressing him out, and he's like, this one thing would make it easier for me. And Darcy couldn't even do that.
Yeah.
And on top of that, his mom is being evicted, and he messed up the numbers while he made the budget for this
Yes.
house. And so the pressure to be perfect is weighing him way down. So he tells Darcy that he took her passport too. He's like, look, I kept your passport. It was just there. You couldn't even see it because
He like hands it to her. He's like,
Yeah.
here, take it.
and he did it to keep her here. And he was like, obviously it's unforgivable. And so he just gets in his car and leaves. And like she and Jamie are kind of just like, oh shit, we fucked up.
Yeah.
And then
Like, this
by the
is
time
bad.
she gets out there, he's already driving away.
Yeah.
And 2 days pass and there's still no word from Tom. They find out that he picked up his mom and dropped her off at the Barretts without even saying where he was going.
Yeah.
He even left Patty
He
there.
left Patty there.
Which
That
is a big
not
sign.
a good sign.
No, it's like, where did he go? Why would he just leave his dog?
I know. This
So-
broke my heart.
Yeah. Jamie and Darcy take over the renovations since they broke Tom, quote unquote. Like
Yeah,
they're
they
like, oh my
broke
God, we
Tom.
broke him. This gives Darcy and Jamie time to reflect on how they're psychopaths about money and freedom. They
Yeah.
say this about themselves.
Yeah.
And
They need to
both-
figure their shit out.
Right. They both agree that nothing Tom can do would make them stop loving him. And that's what he seems to think. And so this was like really eye-opening about themselves and also about Tom's vulnerability. And they
Yeah.
want to make sure that they earn him this time. Like they want to make it easy for Tom. They want to fix this for him to make sure that he knows that it's not a big deal. They'll figure it out and it's okay.
Right. And I think this is what Loretta intended. I think this is what the grandmother intended.
And I feel like it all came to a head once all three were together, and that was always the intention.
Right.
You know?
It was going to have to. It was going to have to blow at some point.
Yeah.
And they were going to have to.
They just
work
needed all to be
together and
together.
stop being children.
Agree.
Jamie and Darcy. That is not Tom.
Yeah.
Tom is a man.
He's a Valeska.
Yeah. So 2 months later, this was so devastating. 2 months later, and Darcy is finally getting around to her cardiologist appointment with Jamie. They still have not had any contact with him whatsoever, but they emailed him the time of the appointment, hoping he would come, because that was something they talked about right before he left.
Right.
You know, that he
Darcy
would go
was
with
like,
her
well, maybe
on her
there's
heart
maybe
appointment.
there's another person that would want to come too.
Yeah.
Hinting at Tom and
meaning
her were serious.
Could you
Yeah.
come with me? So Jamie and Darcy have definitely stopped fighting with each other. Without relying on Tom as a buffer, they've finally figured it out.
Right. They had to like cling to each other.
Yeah.
Now that he wasn't there to be like the stabilizer,
Right.
they were like, oh my God, what do we do?
These are high maintenance, needy people.
Oh, absolutely.
They're so funny. Jamie and Darcy have formed a plan to include Tom in on the inheritance that Loretta left them. So they're going to split the sale of the house by thirds.
Yeah. So they all
Each
get
of them
like
would
an
get a
equal share.
third.
Yeah, I love it. And they're
Just-
like, well, it'll show him how we love him forever.
Yeah, how he's so important to us. You know, that we'll love him forever. So they get to the appointment. They're in the waiting room. He doesn't show. And so she's, you know, they're like devastated. They get into the room. She's getting all hooked up to all those machines and stuff. And so it's like the heart monitor's on. And I loved how Sally Thorne described it. She's like, I had a feeling and my heart just started pumping faster.
Before he even
Even enters the room. And Jamie's like, what's wrong? Are you okay? And then he just walks in. It was
Yeah.
like beautiful. Like
I
she
do love
sensed
it.
him coming. It was really lovely.
It
So
was.
he comes in. Darcy tells Tom that they've done so much work and wait until you see what we've done. You know?
I love his misunderstanding though. He thinks she means the house.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
he promises, he's like,
yeah.
I'm so sorry for bailing. I'll fix everything.
Yeah. No, he's talking about their relationship. Like we've been good. We've grown
Yeah,
up.
she says, she's like, we already fixed the house budget. Like, we fixed it all for you.
Yeah.
And what she really means is that they fixed themselves to be better for Tom. And I
Yeah.
loved it. They were like reading, like, she was like, hey,
Yeah.
Jamie, you need to learn how to glaze a ham.
Yeah. They would give each other
Like a
different
sign
magazine
reading.
articles. Here, you need to learn how to cook this ham, Jamie.
It's great.
Self-improvement,
I
you
love
know.
it.
They're
They
both
are.
like in a self-improvement kick, you know, for Tom, to be better
Right.
for Tom. It's
And they were
adorable.
truly truly, truly trying to self-improve. I mean, some of the things were humorous, but they really were trying to be better.
It's so cute, though. Darcy then tells Tom that he's 100% hers, and he says that they better give Jamie at least one. Tom's like, we better give Jamie at least 1%. It's like,
so
okay.
He's 99% hers.
This is what I predicted at the very beginning. I was like, I bet you he's going to be 99% hers, and she's going to give 1% to Jamie.
Yes,
I was so happy about that.
Just a little bit.
It was such the perfect ending. Darcy is editing a photographic art book based off the bar she used to work at. With
the first one is the bar, and then she plans on doing one on the house.
On the house, yeah, and the focal point is the people, the men, those working. It's really cool.
She's been known. She won an award for her portrait of Jamie, But she didn't want to do like real galleries anymore. Like that wasn't her scene.
She wants to do like artistic photography. Tom gets his surprise portion of the house sale, and then which means he can relax and be selective in the houses he flips now.
It really like touches his heart. I really loved it. It was like a surprise. They didn't really tell him.
He's like, I'm still mad at this. We have to talk about this.
Yeah,
but he's not really mad.
No.
And of course, they're in the airport at this moment. This is in
They're in the airport. They're going on a cruise.
Oh, the cruise. That's right. I always pictured they were like leaving from an airport for some reason, though. You didn't?
No, they were about to board the cruise. They said the cruise music was playing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember all the old people like sitting around or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the cruise people.
But an important part, though, Darcy's going to help him flip houses. Like she says, like she's going to be a big part of that.
She's going to live in the tent with him, and they're going to just flip houses together. And so Tom has a surprise for her, 2 surprises, which is he's invited Jamie and Truly to come on their trip with them.
I really like that.
Because there's a running joke throughout the whole book that she's going to be, they're going to take alive when they're 80, and they're going to go
80-year-old cruises.
Yes.
And she's going to drink old fashions with Jamie's woman. And that was before they found out that she was into Tom and he was into Truly. Yeah. So now they're taking a couple's cruise ship. This is great.
So cute. It's the cutest thing. So he has a surprise. He trades the ring he bought for Megan to Jamie for Loretta's ring so that he can propose one day in the future.
Yes. I love how she's like, I want that. And she's also talking about his name too. She's like, I want to be called Valeska, and I also want that ring.
Yeah, and I want that ring, and she's so needy. It's hilarious.
It is.
It's awesome.
And he's like, I will give it to you one day.
Yeah. He's like, I'll give it to you one day. It was so perfect. Cute. It was a perfect ending. This is one of the few books, and I remember I messaged you right after where I just cried with joy. I was so happy.
It was great.
Such a happy ending.
Beautiful ending. And I predicted wrong though too, because I did predict that Tom was going to somehow buy the house, but obviously this was like way in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that it didn't happen. It didn't make sense in the end for it to happen because Tom had no money for it. But anyway, I just like that it was such a surprising ending, and it was just all around great. And I also liked that she included an epilogue for them. At the end, and the epilogue was great. It was
I enjoyed it.
They were engaged, and they had been renovating houses. And Tom's like, "I've been waiting for you to be like, yeah, this is the house where we're going to put down roots."
They're waiting. They just keep flipping them.
This fear of being tied down, but then she realizes, this is perfect. And then they decide on that house, and it was just such a great ending scene for them. And she was like, "Yeah, we can renovate." And then we can come back here and sleep. And so they're just such a great team, and they work best together. And I love that epilogue. So good. There's also an epilogue for the hating game, which it was really nice to see familiar characters again, just see like where they are. It was so beautiful. And I don't know. I think I had to remind you to go because
because I thought I didn't realize there was more after the acknowledgments. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. It's not like right after the story ends. It's a little bit more. So anyway, I just really enjoyed this story so much.
I love this book.
It is definitely on my like reread list because the characters are amazing, and I cannot wait for more from Sally Thorne because
I am too. She needs to get busy. So we hope that you enjoyed today's episode and look forward to the next one where we'll be discussing Dark Fever by Karen Marie Monning.
Thanks so much for listening.
This goes out to all the fangirls.
Life's better with a little HEA.